I have to share with you what I consider to be a miracle level healing in a contentious situation, a contentious relationship situation that has been contentious for almost 12 years. And almost overnight, the relationship has been healed. And I've now gone from this great divide with this person to we're friends. And that person is my ex wife. We have been in a contentious separation. We are still not divorced after 11 and a half years. And I realized that I had it within my control to change that situation, regardless of what my ex-wife, apologized for or said or did. I still had control to change that relationship. And I just decided recently I was going to do that very thing because I was tired of fighting with her. Because at the end of the day, she is the mother of my kids for whom I am me and for whom I am so eternally grateful because they have taught me how to get out of my own way and not be selfish and focus on caring for other people more. And they have really just they teach me every day. And my ex-wife is the reason that they're here. So even though she and I are not together anymore, I am so grateful that she came into my life. And I am so grateful for the brutal last 11 and a half years because they have been just one gigantic lesson in how not to live life. And I want you to know that no matter how divided you are with the people in your life, you have the control to be able to change how that relationship goes by how you show up in that relationship. You should not ever tolerate, abuse or being treated like garbage by another human being. And it's important to have a strong sense of boundaries for sure. That's part of being a mentally healthy and strong person, is a set of rules that say this is what is and isn't okay with me, I believe is how Brene Brown describes it. But when we show up in these relationships for whatever interactions we have, there's some people in our lives that they are there not because we choose to have them there, but because they have to be there. And like, obviously, my ex-wife is my ex-wife, but she's still the mother of my kids. My kids are still always going to be in my life. So my ex-wife is always going to be in my life. And wouldn't it be better to just have a kind, compassionate, empathetic, and gratitude-based relationship with her where I just focus on, I'm so glad she came into my life so that we have these wonderful 5 kids that we brought into the world together that have made my life richer and fuller and more amazing than I could have ever imagined. And I have her to partially thank for that. And so I am choosing to have higher quality relationships and putting ego aside and just getting out of my own way because it really doesn't matter. Oh, I was right. You were wrong. Do you want to be right or do you want to have high quality relationships? That's really the question that I ask myself. I'm sharing this with you because our world is so divided and it's time that we all change that. And each and every one of us has the ability to create that change just by the way we show up in the relationships and by the way we show up and respond to things, even when someone is, rude or something like that. There's still a choice to be made in how we respond. We can make that situation worse or we can make it better. Again, we can draw boundaries and protect ourselves from abuse and things like that. But it doesn't mean because someone's rude to us, we go over the top and are rude to them, like, and throw gasoline on the fire. We can choose to respond in different ways that create healing, even with those types of people. There are ways of approaching things of curiosity and just trying to understand. And for anybody who has not heard of Dia Khan, go watch her stuff on who she learned to connect with, people that hated her for various reasons that were, well out of her control, where she was born, the color of her skin. And she found ways of connecting with people that absolutely hated her going into it. And she found common ground with them, and she found understanding of who they were and why they thought the way that they did. And there is such a humongous lesson in there for us all, that no matter how big the chasm is between us, there is a better way of showing up with absolutely everybody in our world. And I think now more than ever, this message needs to be shared out there broadly. We, each and every one of us, will be part of the solution to the division, to the loneliness, to the brokenness in our world. It comes from every one of us. There are 8 billion walking solutions to the problems on this planet, and it is time every 8 billion of us show up and start being part of the solution and stop being part of the problem.